during the appropriate honors. I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome our distinguished guests in attendance today. We ask that you please hold your applause until everyone has been introduced. We are honored to welcome Colonel Brown's wife, Ms. Tasha Brown, Colonel Raymer's wife, Mrs. Hannah Marsdell. We also recognize and welcome our Edwards Air Force Base senior leadership and visiting distinguished guests in attendance. From the Air Force Test Center, Major General Scott Kane, Commander. Chief Master Sergeant Jeffrey Martin, Command Chief Master Sergeant. From the 412 Test Wing, Command Chief Master Sergeant Justin Stolfus, Command Chief Master Sergeant. From the 412th Maintenance Group, Lieutenant Colonel Andrew Howard, 412th Maintenance Group Deputy. We welcome all commanders, directors, chiefs, colleagues, friends, and co-workers who have come to pay special tribute to Colonel Brown and Colonel Raymer. Thank you for attending. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the playing of ruffles and flourishes, presentation of the colors, singing of our national anthem by Staff Sergeant Francis Sampong, and the invocation by Chaplain Connor Sims.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please bow your heads with me. Almighty and ever-present God, we gather this morning with gratitude in our hearts as we mark the 412th Maintenance Group's change of command. Today's ceremony reminds us that leadership is both a calling and a trust, shaped by years of dedication, forged in service, and passed on with honor. Today we give thanks for Colonel Harvey E. Brown, whose 39 years of service in the United States Air Force have been marked by integrity, vision, and unwavering commitment to the mission. For the past 3 years, he has faithfully led this group with distinction. We ask your continued blessing upon him, his wife, Ms. Tasha Brown, as they move on to the 10th Air Base Wing. We now welcome Colonel Philip M. Raymert, coming to us from the Pentagon. As he assumes command today, we ask that you grant him clarity of thought, courage in decision, and compassion in leadership. Bless him and his wife, Miss Hannah Marsdale, as they become part of this 412th Test Wing family. God, be present in this 412th Maintenance Group, strengthen their resolve, protect their camaraderie, and guide their hands and hearts in all that lies ahead. We place this command and these leaders in your faithful care. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Sims, Staff Sergeant Sampong, and the 412th Maintenance Group Honor Guard. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Today's change of command is deeply rooted in military tradition and dates back to the reign of King Frederick of Prussia. During this time, organizational flags were developed with color arrangements and symbols unique to each unit. When a change of command was to take place, the outgoing commander would pass the flag to the individual assuming command. This gesture was accomplished in front of the unit so all could see and witness their leader assuming command. This symbolic tradition has survived through military history and will be part of our ceremony today. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to introduce Brigadier General Douglas Wicker, Commander, 412th Test Wing.
Well, good morning, everybody. So, Sergeant Sampang, once again, absolutely extraordinary. A round of applause, please, for that incredible national anthem echoing here in 1600. I just want to, again, thank, all the welcomes. General Kane, thank you for being here. Chief Martin, my partner in command, Chief Stoltzfus. There's lots of squadron commanders and group commanders and AFRL back there in the back, so thank you, as well as General Azano and Civ Mills here and Coffee for Vets. Not surprised that the local community didn't turn out. Before we get too far into this, I just want us to pause and take a moment to be fully present right here, right now, in this hangar, this sacred hangar in our little corner of the Mojave Desert. This is a perfect setting. We do a lot of ceremonies in here, a lot of events in here in 1600. Thanks to the very, the generous goodwill of our 412 Maintenance Group teammates. They let us do a lot of things here, including we got an event coming up, Chief, in a couple of weeks. So I love this opportunity to actually celebrate the legacy of one great commander and welcome another in their very own home, 1600. So the work that happens here at Edwards, and it's 83 years and counting since the team with the very first jet aircraft, the XB-59, showed up here. The work here is unlike anywhere else in the world. If you want to know what the Air Force of 2030 or 2035 or 2050 looks like, it's the Air Force that's flying over the skies of Edwards Air Force Base today. And of course, if it's in the air, so just once again, welcome everybody. Thanks for being here. Ms. Tasha, thank you very much. Hannah, it is great to have you be part of the family. and welcoming you here to Edwards. She's already talking about how great the sunsets are, so I know she's going to fit in very well here. Colonel Brown, AB, what a phenomenal command that you have had. You've not only sustained the already impressive work, as I look out here at the 412th Maintenance Group, the most complex and most diverse maintenance group in the world, not just the Air Force, in the world. So you've taken this incredible team and the enterprise to a new level. The only place you're going to see all 4 of the U.S. Air Force bombers is here. The only place that you're going to see the Air Force's future fighter capabilities is here, to include, in the next couple of months, 2 new combat collaborative prototypes are going to be here at Edwards Air Force Base. The only place you'll see flutter, high angle of attack, and air start testing on the Air Force's next trainer for what may be the next trainer that we have for the next half of a century is here. Our 412th Maintenance Group does it all, and they do it with excellence in what has become recognized as a gold standard across the Air Force. AB, under your leadership, the 412th Maintenance Group was recognized for excellence year after year after year. And that, I'm literally counting 3 years in there, 3 years running. AFMC's Dedallion Trophy 2022, 2023, 2024. The Air Force Maintenance Effectiveness Award 2022, 2023, 2024. Last year, the 912th AMXS received the SecDef Field Level Maintenance Award. That doesn't just happen. That's a reflection of world-class leadership and an extraordinary team. And I'm trying to make eye contact with all of you out there because you did put it in the air. But the accolades really only tell part of the story. You led this group, AB, during an incredible chapter of firsts. We have a long history of firsts. We live for first in flight test, as well as through some turbulent perturbations. But let's celebrate the firsts. So first flight of the B-21, compatibility testing of F-22's low drag tanks, which are going to pave the way to Raptor 2.0, which is a critical capability in the Indo-Pacific theater. A number of critical hypersonic weapons tests, including a geostrategic first in the Pacific theater, made possible because of our 412th Maintenance Group. The B-61 spin rocket certification for the F-35, the acceptance and arrival of the T-7A, the air refueling certification for 17 different aircraft designs, the next Air Force One, C-17 roll-on conference capsule, and the list goes on and on and on. And while our maintainers are putting the B-21 into the air, the newest aircraft in the Air Force inventory, you guys are also ensuring the future life of the oldest airplane in the Air Force inventory, the B-52. New commercial engines to replace the very difficult to keep flying TF-33s, a new radar, new avionics, new wheels and brakes. And as we saw just 2 weekends ago, bombers and of course the tankers that get them there, get them anywhere in the world, they are essential elements of national security. The 412th Maintenance Group is posturing our Air Force for decades of technological superiority so that national command authorities have options that they can exercise. And it isn't just happening here at Edwards. The reach of the 412th Maintenance Group is across the country. We've got Big A airmen at Hurlburt, Tinker, Robbins, McCord. They are leading, supporting, and enabling the development and sustainment of the next generation Air Force. So AB, even when challenged by limited fleets and ever-increasing demand signal for test, your team, and I'm going to eventually make eye contact with all of them, your team found a way. I was impressed when you applied your background in theory of constraints to bolster F-16 availability by 20%. We ultimately, eventually reached a 90% sortie generation rate, a 4-year high. And I can see Angela out there smiling and shaking her head. The impact of that test support aircraft, it's critical for across the board. It's critical for B-21 and everything else that we're doing. And the 412 maintenance group, they don't just keep the mission moving. You guys are keeping us ahead. And it's because of your hard work. We are China's pacing threat. Think about that. We often talk about China being our pacing threat. The work that you're doing, China's looking at us, and we are pacing them now. But AB, what I'm most pleased about aren't the sortie generation stats, as cool and impressive as they are. In maintenance, you guys do have your stats. It's the way that you cared for people. You were part of driving meaningful change in special salary rate to meet cost of living challenges here in the Aerospace Valley. You helped renovate and expand the base food pantry, increasing the capacity by a factor of 5. And it wasn't just Edwards Airmen that you helped. You are a favorite in the local community, from Coffee for Vets to the Torrance Military Day Parade, and everything in between. And it's kind of interesting, you know. So when I'm out in the local community, I'm often invariably asked, "Oh, you're from Edwards? Like, do you know Colonel Brown?" And so it's always when I say I do, as a matter of fact, I get to work with them, I go up in their estimation. So it's always fun to know that, say that, yes, I do know Colonel Brown. And kind of the turnout from the local community is just testament to that. Your impact, AB, is going to echo long after you hand off the guidon today. You've built a legacy of excellence, compassion, and mission-first leadership that's going to endure with this group and across the wing. And so, AB, thank you for your dedication to this team, this mission, this nation. It's been an absolute privilege to serve alongside you. There's only one other place that is near to the sanctity of importance in my heart than Edwards Air Force Base, and that's the United States Air Force Academy. And so I couldn't be more excited that within 48 hours of relinquishing the guidon here at Edwards Air Force Base, you're going to pick up the mantle of responsibility as the 10th Air Base Wing Commander at USAFA. They're going to be in good hands. So mission success, it depends really on fundamentally matching the right person to the right job and finding the right commander to take the maintenance group to the next chapter of test was an important decision. And it's not just about continuity. It's about maintaining excess thrust over drag and hence positive P/S to sustain the zoom climb. That's for you, Chief. To sustain the zoom climb that the maintenance group is on. And we've got it absolutely right with Colonel Raymart. Colonel Raymart has had a broad career with a deep experience in fighter maintenance, B-1 and B-2 bomber maintenance, logistics, acquisitions, special projects. In other words, fills the perfect fit for the most complex and most diverse maintenance group in the world. With 2 highly successful squadron commands at Ellsworth and Whiteman, Colonel Raymart is well suited for the role as we define the future of maintenance and logistics for the B-21 Raider here at Edwards. He's been a deployed group commander of the 332nd, so he also understands mission readiness during this time of consequence. And his extensive experience on the Air Staff, first as the Principal Military Assistant to the Deputy Assistant Secretary for Logistics, a role where I'm certain that you got to know Lieutenant General Hurry, who is now our acting AFMC commander and who actually recommended you to me when we were doing the hiring. And most recently, after graduating from National War College, Colonel Raymart is currently, or was until a couple weeks ago, dual-hatted in the A4 as the branch chief for strategy and analysis and the deputy chief for logistics, engineering, and force support. So that extensive air staff experience really gives him a strategic level perspective as you make those critical decisions that are being made on a daily basis here at the stage of program development, those are decisions that echo for decades. And I'll say a four-letter word, Alice, and those who know, know. So Phil's path to this moment is uniquely his. He walked into Middle Tennessee State University, the Harvard of the South, as a total airplane geek who aspired to fly fighters after commissioning from ROTC. And he likely would have. His eyesight might have kept him out of the cockpit, but it could not keep him away from airplanes. The denial by the flight doc was actually probably the best outcome for the Air Force. Pilots, frankly, are a dime a dozen. Good maintainers are priceless. And we're fortunate that Phil's passion for aircraft led him to a career in maintenance. So in addition to his most recent master's degree in national security strategy from the National War College, Phil has a master's of science in logistics and supply chain management from AFIT, and we actually overlapped as AFIT students more than 15 years ago. And AFIT was not just an academic success for Phil, it was his habit of studying for class at a coffee shop down at the Green, his hunting blind, as Hannah called it, that led to Phil and Hannah meeting eventually. That's a good story. I encourage you to solicit it from them. So they share not only a love for coffee, but also a love for cooking and for travel, and obviously good coffee. Phil's an avid cyclist who enjoys reading, and yes, being born in Akron, Ohio. General Kane, he's an Ohio State football fan. So he's a Buckeye, not just some nut. Go Bucks. Hannah, thank you for joining us and for your continued support. Command is never a solo journey, and we're glad to have you join part of the Edwards family. Maintenance, you are getting a leader who understands complex systems, who thrives under pressure, and who genuinely cares about the growth of his big A airmen. He's someone who builds trust, who listens, and who is dedicated to learning. Phil, in a few minutes, you are going to accept the guidon, and with it, the responsibility to lead this incredible team. Command is the Air Force's greatest calling. It requires excellence, integrity, humility, and a relentless commitment to taking care of the people so that they can take care of the mission. I have no doubt that you will lead this group with skill and compassion, with heart and with hand. You have my full trust and confidence. 412th Maintenance Group, you are in great hands. Colonel Raymart, you've got the stick. Go lead.
Thank you, General Wicker. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. Brigadier General Wicker will now present the Legion of Merit to Colonel Brown. Attention to orders. Citation to accompany the award of Legion of Merit Medal. Colonel Ahab E. Brown, Jr. distinguished himself by exceptionally meritorious conduct in the performance of outstanding service to the United States as Commander, 412th Maintenance Group, 412th Test Wing, Air Force Test Center, Air Force Material Command, Edwards Air Force Base, California, from 8 July 2022 to 9 July 2025. During this period, Colonel Brown led the Air Force's most diverse maintenance group, encompassing 1,900 total force integrated airmen in 5 squadrons, in capturing Air Force Material Command's Maintenance Effectiveness Award 3 years in a row. Additionally, utilizing his Black Belt certification, he guided logistics for Indo-Pacific Command's hypersonic test, yielding 800 sorties and over 1,000 flight hours. Later, Colonel Brown directed munitions loads for the $5.4 million Air Launch Rapid Response Weapons Test to fulfill the Department of Defense's top priority. Moreover, he reinforced the national security strategy's goal to compete responsibly with the People's Republic of China through a blended Air Force and contractor B-21 team, benchmarking 137 processes and securing delivery of America's newest bomber. Finally, through Colonel Brown's inspiring leadership, his group secured 3 consecutive Air Force Material Command Clements McMullen Memorial Medallion Weapons System Maintenance Trophies for safe, reliable aircraft maintenance. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Colonel Brown reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Thank you, General Wickert. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. It is my pleasure to introduce Colonel A.F. Brown, Jr., Commander 412th Maintenance Group.
Hey, good morning, everybody. If it's in the air! I can't hear you. If it's in the air! Hey, look, first of all, on behalf of my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, thank you. Ms. Tasha, thank you for being here along the ride. I tell you, boss, thank you for all that you have done in allowing me to lead. Major General Kane, General Zano, fellow group commanders, man, I am flat out floored. Chiefs, first sergeants and leaders in the midst, our civic leaders, thank you. I thank you because you allowed me to be just like you. I am a thread on this flag, and so are you. The red, the white, and the blue bleeds through each and every one of us. It drives us. It motivates us. It allows us to get up early in the morning and stay late at night. Because we believe that freedom is not free, and that sons and daughters must stand up, and that someone must answer the nation's call. It can't just be something you say. It must be something you do. As a matter of fact, you need to be it. And I'm glad that we are a thread that holds one another together through the happy times, through the sad times. As the boss said, it's not all about the sorties. Humans are still more important than hardware. There's still an aura of professional airmen that need to go forward. We will continue to communicate, coordinate, and collaborate to ensure that all mission success is done. And that's what we have endeavored to do over the past 3 years. You have allowed me to be you. I am excited about this moment because as I reflect upon the things of the past, it allows me a respect for what's to come. I had the chance to meet Phil over 4 years ago. And he is a dynamic leader. This is not just a paper tiger. This is the real deal. And you're going to see, as you allow him to be part of the family, part of the team, allow him to play the role that the Air Force has already designated him to play, we will continue to endeavor to go farther. Because it's not just about me. It's not just about you. But it's about those young ones who believe that there is going to be a country to stand in, that there's going to be a place to stand for, and there's going to be a reason to stand up. This is what we do. This is why every day is game day. Because I need you. No one of us is smarter than all of us. No one of us is better than all of us. That's why it takes us. See, this is why I still believe in us. I won't let that love die. I'm not here because I have nothing else to do. I'm here because it takes a me and it takes a you to keep that flag flying free and aloft. And for all of those who came before us, all who did what they needed to do, this was our turn. So now it is time to turn the page and begin a new chapter. A chapter of success, a chapter of victory, a chapter where freedom and the sweet sound of liberty still reigns. So if it's in the air, boss, rounds complete.
Thank you, Colonel Brown. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now proceed with the change of command ceremony. Please stand. Attention to orders. Department of Air Force Headquarters, United States Air Force, Washington, D.C. Special Order GO 22-19, dated 30 June 2025, under the provisions of Air Force Instruction 51-09, by order of Brigadier General Wickert, Commander, 412 Test Wing. Colonel Raymer is hereby appointed as Commander of the 412th Maintenance Group, effective 9 July 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. It is customary for the commander's name to be on the unit's flagship. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the F-16 on your right, tail number 1172, where dedicated crew chief Staff Sergeant Carl Graves will salute and welcome Colonel Raymer by revealing his name on the aircraft. Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of the 412th Maintenance Group, Colonel Philip Raymer.
All right, good morning, and thank you all for being here today. I got to tell you, it's nice to hear the sound of jets flying, and I still see some maintainers working around the hangar, and being around all of these beautiful aircraft is a sight for sore eyes, that's for sure. It's an honor and a privilege to stand before you today and assume command of this outstanding group. This moment isn't about me. It's about the people who make this mission happen every day, the legacy of leadership that brought us to this point, and the responsibility we all now share going forward. Before I speak to that responsibility, I want to thank those who made this possible. Major General Kane and Chief, thanks for taking time out of your busy days to be here with us. Sir, I don't know the background on why you don't like Ohio State, but I'm not going to apologize for being a big Buckeye fan. General Wickert, sir, thank you for giving me this opportunity and trusting me with this amazing group to follow such an amazing human being. Thank you, sir. Chief, I'm looking forward to working with you and executing the boss's vision, and the rest of the chiefs too. Thank you for being here. Colonel Brown, AB, man, I am grateful for you. You have been there every step of the way since the moment I was notified of this job. I can't thank you enough for everything that you have done to help prepare me as much as you possibly can. And I look forward to what you're about to do for the Air Force Academy and everybody on that base. So best of luck to you. Thank you for everything. To my fellow group commanders, I'm excited to join your ranks. The mission of the 412th Test Wing is way too important for any one of us to do it alone. I look forward to working shoulder to shoulder with all of you and executing this fine mission that we have before us at Edwards Air Force Base. And thank you to the incredible team that have worked behind the scenes in creating a professional and meaningful ceremony to the men and women of this amazing group. I look forward to working with all of you and getting to know you better. And finally, to my family and friends, my parents, Mike and Terry, siblings, TJ and Leah, and their families, Thank you for the foundation in life and continued love and support that I have experienced every day. To our extended family and friends joining virtually, thank you for your love, encouragement, and continued presence in our lives and taking time out of your days to be with us today. Finally, to my wife and my best friend, Hannah, thank you for your unwavering support, your love, and all of the sacrifices that you have made. I'm especially proud of the work you do on behalf of our nation's veterans and their families with the work at the VA. Your dedication to caring for those who have served and your constant support for military families reflects exactly the kind of selfless commitment that I admire. I also recognize that the men and women of the 412th Maintenance Group did not get to pick me. The Air Force starts with a mission, it defines a requirement, places people and resources here to complete that mission, and then selects someone to lead them. That's not lost on me. I am here for all of you. This wing doesn't just support the Air Force, it helps shape its future. The systems we test, the data we generate, and the aircraft we sustain feed directly into tomorrow's combat power. This is national defense in its most technical form. And what we ask our test pilots to do is anything but routine. They fly unproven systems in unforgiving ways with full trust in the aircraft they operate. And that trust begins right here with the 412th Maintenance Group. We will continue to care for these aircraft and systems with the precision, professionalism, and pride that ensure there's never a moment of doubt for our operators. This isn't routine work, it's demanding, it's technical, it's high stakes, and it's worth every ounce of energy we bring forward every single day. My commitment is to serve this mission and this team with humility, clarity, and resolve. I will listen and learn, I will advocate, and I will lead with purpose. I'm both humbled and proud to join this team, and I look forward to what we will accomplish together. AB, once again, best of luck. All right, let's get to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel Raymond. Ms. Brown, on behalf of the men and women of the 412th Maintenance Group, thank you for your undying support, and we wish you farewell. A donation in your name has been made to the Airman's Attic. Colonel Raymond, Ms. Marzell, the men and women of the 412th Maintenance Group welcome you. Ms. Marzell, on behalf of the men and women of the 412th Maintenance Group, please accept this small token of our appreciation. In keeping with Air Force tradition, we conclude today's ceremony with the playing of the Air Force song. While it's customary for the Air Force members to stand, we invite all guests to join us in standing for the Air Force song and the departure of the official party. As a friendly reminder, the Air Force song is recently updated and the lyrics can be found in the back of your program.